Howdy, my homies. It is James Finnerty here with Rewind Electric, and you'll see with me tonight I have an MXR flanger. I did a opening of the mail episode previously where I opened, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things all at once just to kind of knock that out. But now we're going to dive into each one a little bit more, open it up and give it a listen. We got to test this stuff out. And with me, I have my iced desert coffee, of course. And presumably because my local grocery stores hate me, they've stopped carrying Perrier, and I'm now drinking this stuff. Well, let's get cracking into these. MXR flanger, made famous by me. No, by Eddie Van Halen. It's missing a screw. Among others, but he's the one who made it famous to me. He's the reason that it sits here on my bench this evening and on your screen tonight. Okay. That we will have to address. The awful foam. Yeah, you can see it kind of gets all over everything here, including the beloved and amazing Redicon BDD chip. Right there. That's the good stuff, my friends. Okay. This one features Texas Instruments op amps. I have supposedly coming to me, although I haven't received the tracking yet, so I don't want to count on it. Another, which has the same Redicon, I believe also combinations of these green and white box caps, and instead of the Texas Instruments op amps, it has RCA op amps. So I'm kind of excited to hear that and hear any differences. Let's get this guy cleaned up. We're not going to take forever on this one. First, I was going to brush that off, but first, let's get this foam out of here so that we can let it soak a little bit in some alcohol while we work. All right, and I've learned a particular trick on these, and that is that a spudger scrapes this foam off quite easily, and then some rubbing alcohol softens up the plastic adhesive backing to the foam, which is left on the metal. And then you can peel that up. And then there's still some sticky residue on the metal of the case. And I'm going to just leave that and cover it up with packing tape. Previous commenter said that acetone would take that right off, and I'm sure it would. And I have acetone, and I have lacquer thinner, and I have naphtha, all sitting right next to me. So that wouldn't be a problem. The problem is, and maybe it's not like as important on this one because it's kind of crusty and gray, but on those MXR flange or chorus pedals, they're painted this really bright yellow, and there's even like overspray around the edge. I just didn't want to get the fumes from the acetone or any acetone on that paint, especially not should some go over the edge and pool under it while it's sitting like that and then just mess it all up. So that's the only reason I didn't do that. The rubbing alcohol, obviously less effective, but because it's less effective, it's safer on the paint and the decals on the back. So that's what we're gonna do. Got a little bit left in here. I pulled out a couple more containers. So sayonara to that guy. So I got a couple more here. Did you guys watch that Triangle Big Muff video? Well, there's two of them. One was unpacking it and going over the insides of it, and then finding out it was broken. And then the second one is fixing it and listening to it. Okay. I'm just going to let this kind of marinate over here off to the side. Oh, I have paper towels, yes. Kind of thinking about changing up a little shop policy here. Now, you guys know the rule. If you want to hear it, you got to take it apart. You got to open it up before you can play it. And that's a solid rule for anything with an AC cord, which is usually what I'm working on, either guitars or amps or other studio electronics. However, I'm just brushing that dust off these components in the pedal, by the way. Got to hold it over the trash can. On some of these battery-powered pedals, like say the Big Muff, I think I might reverse that. I think I might give them an initial test with the battery before taking them apart. And some of that's just for my own protection. So say that Big Muff had been borked and like 2 of the transistors were dead, and I tried to use that video to show the seller, hey, look, you sent me a bad thing. Now, somebody could argue I messed it up while opening it up and looking at it, and that it's my fault that I broke it, and I should eat it. And it, hopefully the video would show that that wasn't the case. But as a person reviewing that who's on staff at, say, like Reverb or eBay, are they really going to be able to watch that video and know, like, did I do things right or not? They're not technical people. They probably don't know. So I think it's probably in my best interest to, the battery powered stuff at least. AC things, I'm not going to do it because it might not be safe. We've seen that. We've seen missing grounds. We've seen ground lugs broken off. We've seen grounds riveted loosely on. We've seen wire bread ties like this inside pedals with live AC used to twist the wires together. From the factory, Electro-Harmonix. So, yeah. With the AC power stuff, I can't do it because there's a safety issue. You really got to open that up and look at it. But with the vintage pedals that take 9-volt batteries, then yeah, I probably will start firing those up first. You guys probably don't care at all about any of that. Let's take the circuit board out. Have a look at the pot dates. And just see if there's anything interesting to see. Oh yeah, gotta take the knobs off. Hadn't done that yet. These little rubber doodads, they go in the Electro-Harmonix pedals. They're kind of cool. They're made so you can put your foot on there and twist the knob. And that way, you know, the knob that you want to mess with sits up a little higher than the others, and it's got some grippiness on it. It's a cool idea. I like it. And I've got a little growing collection of them. All right, work with me, work with me. This one doesn't want to come off. There we go. Oof, crusty. Okay. These have those cool metal washers under the knobs and above the nuts, which help the knobs sit in the right height and rotate smooth. It is a cool feature. I like it. MXR did really good stuff. I mean, as you can tell, I've had a few pedals from the vintage era in front of me. And MXR built stuff pretty well. Electro-Harmonix built stuff like crap. But they were innovators, and their pedals sound really good. But, yeah, they were thrown together. Probably not necessary, but I've been shocked worse by less, believe me. Okay, they don't give you a lot of room to get that header off. I guess I didn't need to take the nuts off the pot. Okay, let me move this stuff back so we can get it on camera. All right, so wiring by EK, electrical inspection by, looks like an A. Mechanical inspection by RKJM. That's a lot of initials. And then a stamp from MXR. Okay, so let's see. We have MXR branded CTS pots, as usual. 137 is CTS, 78 is 1978. MXR, oh, right here, 137, 78, 137, 77. And what's this last guy here? It's under the ground. 137, 77. All right, so 77 and 78. Probably not the one Van Halen played on Van Halen 1, but maybe. Actually, I don't know when it was recorded. It was released in 78. Okay, so I could clean them. Here's some of those jacks. These are probably also switchcraft. I could brush the dust off of it. I guess I'll clean those pots. I mean, the cleaner's right here. The pots are right here. They're pretty difficult to get to, and I've already unnecessarily taken the nuts off. So I don't want to take the lock washers out too, though. All right, here we go. Actually, I'm gonna clean the top first, and I'll show you why in a minute. There you go, this little block of foam that comes in handy for things like that. You can just sit right. Okay, just sit right there then. All right, now I just want to get the crusties off from around the pots there. So that when I put the knobs back on, they look nice. This flanger is very clean. Like, the printing is still pretty well intact. Okay, that'll do. And there goes one of the lock washers. Okay. Back to spraying these guys. Man, this last one is going to be tricky because everything is crowded around and over it, but I think I got it right here. Okay. All right, now let's just bolt those back on. Okay, had to restart the camera here. I don't think we lost anything though. I believe we're just putting these bolts back on. Shoot, I stepped away for a few minutes. Hopefully that cleaner didn't dry up in the pots. I guess I'm going to give them another blast because it probably has been like 45 minutes. It might have evaporated. This is way too much cleaner. Don't use this much cleaner on your pots. Like, oh, shoot. Oh, that's not the way to do it best either. Okay. A lot of compromise in this pot cleaning job today, I'll tell you. But, okay, 91. You just go back and forth. You know, that is infinitely more easy with the knobs on, so I'm going to put them on. I'll just stick that there for now. Okay. These knobs are really crusty. I'll clean them up too, but I think I can do that best afterwards. Nope, forgot the little bushing. Okay. Let's try this again. Who knows anything about a Noble's ODR1 overdrive? So it was suggested to me that I include one of those in my classic vintage overdrive shoot up. You like that trick? You really got to do it kind of like that so that the cleaner stays towards the wiper. Anyway, the Nobles ODR1 overdrive. Yeah, somebody recommended that I include it, and I was like, what the heck is that? Like, Nobles, the plug-in company? Really? Like, I didn't know who it was. Well, I mean, I knew who they were, but I didn't know that they made anything classic or vintage. So I looked it up, and sure enough, those pedals go for like over $2,000. And I was like, how do I not know what this thing is? And I looked into it, and they're from the 90s. So it's like there's a 90s overdrive pedal called ODR1. So I was like, is it an OD1? It's green, though. It's got 3 knobs. I'm like, is it a tube screamer? And I don't know. I didn't get any farther than that yet, although I figured this out. They're recently popular because Tom Bukovic has been singing their praises, driving up their prices. 32.86 millimeters. by 12.54. I should be writing this down. All right, the cap is okay. I'm just gonna write all that down. It says 500D, but then it says 400-25 DC. So I think it's a 400 microfarads at 25 DC. Why does it say 500D? Yeah. Okay, and then the size, 32.8. Oh, 0.78. $12.55. I have to order caps for some other stuff. Those DoD pedals, if you watched that recently. So, and I know I have some MXRs that could use those. I don't think there's any other electrolytics on here. I think that's it. Yeah, so I'm interested in the Nobles, like, just to hear what the fuss is about. However, I don't think it's hard to say that it's vintage or classic. I don't think it's both. I don't think I'm gonna include it. But like I said, I just started looking into it, just even learned of its existence. So maybe, I don't know, who knows. I'm trying to get this header back onto these pins. Oh boy. Okay. That was tricky, but there it is. I also want to make sure that this, which is the AC ground, is nice and tight. It is. Okay, and then replace these screws. So one thing I'd like to check out is, are these trim pots locked down? I think my other one had more than two. It's right here. Let's have a look. This one had the trim pots locked down. Let's pop this open. Hey, look at that. This only has one original screw on it. This is missing one original screw. Don't you love it when things like that work out? Are these Telecaster bridge mounting screws? I think they are. Well, that's convenient for a guy like me who has Telecaster bridge mounting screws. That's the original. Let's see if these are the same version. I guess I should get that foam off while I'm in here. I can't believe I left it there. Does this say 500D also? Yeah. Well, they sure look very similar to me. They both have the 3 trim pots. There's no dip switches. They both have Texas Instruments op amps, Redicon chips, PVD chips. It has an RCA compander. It has a Motorola compander. I think that's what that is. I think that's the compander. So those are different. What else? This has all white box caps. This has some green ones in there. I don't know if that means anything significant. but the brown film caps are the same. This has all blue tantalum caps, whereas this has some blue tantalum caps and then 1, 2, 3 red ones. Let's clean this one up. Did you know this was going to be a 2-for-1? Actually, I didn't either. This one's also clean. Got a couple of nice ones. Let's look at the serials. 17010411. And this one, whoop, we're just there. 17018-584. So this has an earlier serial, but that's not really. It doesn't confirm or deny much. Okay, I'm gonna clean this crusty stuff off. The other one's probably ready to be wiped down and put back on. Again, the spudger is the tool of choice for that. See, cleaned that off pretty good. Now I'll put the rubbing alcohol on that one. I wonder if I can pour the existing alcohol into it. Yeah. That was slick. I know you guys didn't see that, but I just dumped it out of this one into the other. Okay, I'm gonna get things mixed up, so I'm gonna put the old one over there with the old cover and the old screws over there with it, which are actually not old screws. And then this one, oh, put the spudger away. Can you see that? So there is actually a piece of plastic I'm trying to get up. Kind of just coming apart though. I might have let it sit a little longer than necessary. Paper towel. Have you ever made ribs like yourself, like smoked your own ribs, and you have to remove that silver skin? That's kind of exactly what the stuff under here is. And a good way to get the silver skin off is to kind of use a paper towel to sort of be an abrasive and grab it. And I'm going to try the same thing here. Oh, maybe not. But I can at least get this gunk off. Pretty gross stuff, right? It's like a glue-based open cell foam. Actually, it's pretty clean. It still has that film, that plastic on it. which is okay. It's kind of acting like an insulator. I was going to replace it with clear packing tape like I did on the chorus pedals anyway. Maybe I'll just leave it like this. You can see where it's coming up here a little bit. Hard to stay on camera. All right, well. Right on top of it. I think it'll be just fine. Okay, that's good. And as I mentioned before, I'm aware of the existence of Kapton tape. I know that would be the better insulator, static free, and all. You know, it's just not necessary for this, to be honest. Okay. And this looks more like the original stuff. It looks like what's under that nasty foam. And I'm gonna, maybe I should have left this open to mess with the controls inside, but let's just hear it first. So that one's good. Let's see if we can do a 2-in-1 demo also. How's this coming along? Oh yeah, look at that sludge. Gross stuff, isn't it? I should put a paper towel down and also dump out this alcohol. Okay. Does anybody have a Phase 45, a script logo, Phase 45, an original one that I'd like to part with for a reasonable price? If it's in this kind of condition. I don't want if it's in this kind of condition. That's just, I'm sure it sounds fine, but kind of have a thing for clean MXR pedals. You still get reasonable deals from time to time. Aren't any reasonable deals that I'm aware of right now for one. So if you have one and you want to sell it, reach out. But not if you want $1 million for it. You know? Unless, I mean, like if you have the box and the papers and your sales receipt from when you bought it, and the box is not falling apart and it's in good condition. Like, all right, reach out. Maybe I will. I don't need all that stuff though. If it's just a script logo that's clean, still has the printing where it should, and it's not got big paint chips in it, and isn't no holes drilled or anything like that. That's what I'm looking for. Now, should I try and get that off? Let's do it. I think it wants to cooperate. Look at that. Who saw me peel the Velcro off the back of that rat and not mess up the paper serial number sticker? Is that crazy or what? That doesn't happen. That was awesome. This is doing pretty good too. Oh, there goes the City of Los Angeles sticker though. See, that's what I expected to have happen to the rat serial number sticker. It's also paper. And it had Velcro on it. And the Velcro came off and left the paper like untouched. That just doesn't happen. It's a sweet moment for me. Okay, I'm gonna try, because this is like insanely sticky. Look at that. I can't leave it like that. Pretty as it is right now, it's gonna look terrible the moment it gets some dust and hair or whatever on it. So I gotta try and get that off, even if it messes up the sticker underneath. I'm gonna try and be gentle over there to that City of Los Angeles sticker. I'm gonna try one more thing. Turn on my fan. There's some thoughts on rubbing alcohol fumes being bad for you. Same with epoxy. And well, I think epoxy's settled, it's bad for you. But rubbing alcohol, it's like, you know, when you read that, kind of think, oh yeah, duh. I mean, it's pretty caustic to smell the stuff. Like, why would you think it's not bad for you? I'm going to look for another screw while I'm over here. Just have slotted screws over there. Oh, that's slotted too. I think these are all too long. Yeah, they are. Okay, I think that's probably going to be a match. Oh, look at that. That's perfect. That's exactly what those were. And those are screws that I had made not for the bridge pickups and strap, but to mount the three-way switch. Sorry, not telly, but to mount the three-way toggle switch on a telly control point. Let's see if this is doing anything. Slowly. All right. Okay, well that's why those all look that way, because I got this one to deal with too. Should I just do that now? No, I'm going to try this one first. There's always a chance that might go back if it doesn't work. It was cheap, but it was not in good condition. Alright, let's see if we can clean these knobs. They were pretty grimy. Well, these are probably bakelite, so alcohol is probably not the thing to clean them with, but it's what I'm doing. Anyway. Man, that's just going to be sticky. You all know it. Alright. Hold tight. I'm going to get the naphtha. Okay. I found the naphtha. It's Delaney brand naphtha. If you're not using Delaney brand naphtha, you're wrong. And a bit of carbonated mineral water, or mineral water carbonated, for me. As I do my best to not get those two mixed up. This is what you tuned in for, right? Watching me try to get sticky goo off the back of a pedal. That's what musicians want to see, right? Is that working? Or is it just lubricating the goo? Kind of think it's the latter. Because if not, that was way too easy. Okay, I mean, was that... I gotta dry this off. I feel like that was way too easy. Wow. Wow! Wow! Look at that! That was it! That was... This stuff is like made to be removed with naphtha or something. Can you see that? I don't know if I'm showing it well, but it came off so nicely. Beautiful. It's perfect. Even the, you know, that didn't fare too well, but it fared way better than I would have thought. Let's get this one. This one could use a little love. See, that one's had a lot more life being sticky where other things have stuck to it. Okay. I'm going to keep that out because I think we're going to do the micro amp as well. And I think I also have this here. I think this is pretty clean, but I don't know this. Somebody else will. But I think these MXR pedals came with that black pad in the box, and it was your choice if you wanted to put it on or not. And that's why they don't all have it. This one had feet on it. I mean, we're on an MXR pedal cleaning spree here, so I'm not going to stop the train now. Now that we've got Delaney brand naphtha cleaning up our problems. And remember, if your naphtha is not Delaney brand naphtha, you're wrong. So make sure when you go buy your naphtha, you're only buying Delaney brand naphtha. A little green on there. Yeah. All right. Cool little bonus. Get that guy. Okay, well, you know, the front's a little crusty too. We get the front too, huh? Since we're playing this game. Is that okay? Cool. I'll get that. And naphtha probably is the right stuff for cleaning these knobs. So we're going to do that too. Man, that came out good. Very, very good. Just gonna need anything on the front. Maybe just on tops and knobs. Pretty clean otherwise. Alright. Alright. Okay. Now that's the new one. This is the old one. I'm not gonna put the back on the old one yet. Now, by older, I mean I've owned it longer. Not that it's made earlier. Let's fire these up. You know the drill. We're going to do the variac first. See if it's drawing excessive current. If there's a shorter problem, we'll spot it right away. Okay, 25 volts, 40 volts. 46 volts, 58 volts, 67. Remember, if it starts smoking, you guys tell me, okay? 83 volts, 102, 117, 120, okay. And it was drawing nothing that whole way, right? Yeah, it never took anything. Okay, if I turn it on, nothing. Hopefully it works. Let's check the other one, see what happens. This one I used just the other day. 46, 58, 68, 70, 84, 90, 103, 112.01 at 115, but then it dropped right back down. Okay. So current draw is just very low on these. Let's plug in the 1978 Princeton Reverb. Get that going. Somebody call the voltage for the night. Who's it going to be? Give me a number between 100 and 120. Okay, you with the hair lip. What is it? 118.1? You got it, sir. Ka-chunk. And we're going to give this guy the full wall now that we know it works. Should probably a little high for it, but you know. Clean my hands a little bit. Have a late sip of my iced desert coffee. Oh, I had a guitar pick and it's gone. It's the story of my life. Now it's a song. Oh, that's flanging. Do all knobs at noon. You know how I like all knobs at noon to sound decent on anything. It doesn't have to, but I just feel like it's a good place to start because it usually does. It gets kind of hissy when you take it down. Right there. I wonder what that's all about. Oh, so when the manual's down and the width is down, it's noisy. But you can cure that noise by taking either one up. It's a little loose. Is that the... Huh. Why is it loose? I just put these on. Oh, I didn't tighten down the... Alright, well, look, I'm going to forget if I don't do it now, so bear with me, guys. That was a foolish move of mine. Let's hope this doesn't cause a problem where I have to open it back up again. And it might. It might. I didn't tighten these nuts down. Okay. Fortunately, I think I've cured it. I noticed an interesting thing, though, while I was in here, and that just made me think of it. So, unlike an Electro-Harmonix pedal or a Boss pedal, or I'm trying to think of other ones that are in these big cases, even the DODs, any of the pedals where the pots are actually mounted to the PCB, unlike those, on these, the pots can turn inside the case. Now on my other flanger sitting right over there, where the speed control needs to be wiggled or it doesn't work, I wonder if those lugs are just pushed up against something and shorten out. Now, if that were the case, and I could figure that out, both of those things have to be true, that would be super cool, because then I would know that if I ever wanted to do it, I could just put a switch on it that would freeze it. Okay. All right. Now the knobs are behaving. I don't usually like the settings up that high, but it's pretty fun. All right. This sounds great. I'm very, very happy with this. It's just, man, it's just pleasing as punch. It isn't punch pleasing. I mean, I guess punch can be varying levels of pleasing depending on how it's made, but punch isn't fruitcake. I mean, it's hard to make a bad one.